Do another video. I greet you in the name of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I just want to talk to you about some issues and whatnot. I make these videos. I'm very unapologetic about what I talk about. I say what I say, mean what I say. Without fear of reprisals, repercussions, what have you. I own whatever I say or do. I own it. Without fear, from anyone. Because I fear, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, because he's in charge of everything. He's in charge of my wealth, he's in charge of my well-being. So without him, no one could do me harm, because the law subhanahu wa ta'ala wouldn't support it, inshallah. I'm talking about an issue to where, I was reading an article in the paper that talked about, it was printed in a community paper out here in King County, Washington. And it talked about violent acts against Muslims. Basically they were talking about the immigrant Muslims. They weren't talking about the African American Muslims. Because from where I'm from, where I grew up, a lot of African American Muslims mainly came, when they accepted Islam. You got a lot of brothers that became Muslim in the penitentiaries. Brothers who knows how to thump on heads, who know what guerrilla warfare is about. They were engaging in before they became Muslim. An act upon an African American Muslim, to me, I just don't see it happening. I mean, they this community outcry about violence against Muslims. The way the article was written, even though it was most likely to support the immigrants, they didn't want to come out and say immigrant Muslims, but they written it to say against everyone, regardless of race, all Muslims regardless of race. But they didn't want to come out and say immigrant Muslims, because I don't see anyone in their right frame of mind, who's, unless you're suicidal, wants to commit an act of violence among an African American Muslim, because you just waving your rights away, your life and whatnot. I don't see it, because you don't know who you want to come up against. Unless it's a child, but a full-grown adult, and you don't know the background of that African American Muslim, man, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Because most, let me tell you, a lot of these immigrant Muslims, they really haven't been about supporting anything when it comes to the African American community, Muslim community. Not a thing. We've presented many ideas on how to build a community, how to build the strength of a community. It's like I spoke to a lot of OGs, a lot of brothers who were Muslims from back in the day, 50s and 60s. They remember the exodus, of the big migration of the foreigner Muslims coming into the country and whatnot. I mean, Islam was already here, prior to the 50s and 60s and whatnot. It seemed like when they got here, everybody changed up and wanted to become Arab. Every African American Muslim wanted to take on the persona that that you had to be like them, take on the customs of the Arab, not the religion of Islam, which the culture has nothing to do with Islam. The beating on your woman and whatnot, man. I see some things. I mean, it's the same thing as here. In the American culture, the same thing, the same shit that goes on behind closed doors in the American culture goes on in the Arab culture. In the Arab Muslim, the foreign Muslim. I mean, dudes here beat on their women, man. Even in my apartment complex, you hear bitches talk about they can't find a man, but yet they're accustomed to a certain type of so-called man and whatnot, that whoop that ass, for no apparent reason. Excuse me. It's basically the same thing, but a little bit more, culture, culture involved. She thought she could do the new black media does, and she found herself unable to do so. And nobody wants to. Yeah, so I mean, there's just no difference between what goes on behind the doors of the immigrant Muslim and the American households and whatnot. As far as it's just culture, which has nothing to do with the religion. They didn't know who the new black media was. They didn't know. Because the article troubled me. Instead of just being straightforward, out front, saying that mentioning only immigrant Muslims or foreign Muslims, instead of just saying those people who fear reprisals, whenever a terrorist attack like that shit went down in New York, when this fool used his pickup truck, whatever vehicle he had, to run over and kill these people. Now, you got to expect that it's going to be some type of acts of violence, when shit like that happens. Even when 9/11 happened and whatnot, the president then at that time, he got word that there were acts of violence against, people that basically had nothing to do with 9/11. Regular, everyday Muslims, immigrant Muslims, mind you. Because, like I said before, towards the beginning of this video, any acts of violence towards the African American Muslims, you're basically surrendering your life because it will never happen to us. But a lot of these immigrants, a lot of them here, a lot of them that are here, they run from violence. That's why they have violence in their country. They come from war-torn countries because they got these so-called warlords and shit, man. These so-called warlords, and when they're fighting against, these factions, fighting against one another. So, when their homes, their country looking like Swiss cheese. Basically, I think that's what Trump was talking about when he was calling, a lot of these country shitholes. You see the before and after picture before, these wars start. You see the before picture of Yemen and look at the aftermath, the picture of it now. I think this is what Trump was talking about. Not the pictures where you got these nonprofit organizations. What's that broad's name? Sally Struthers and whatnot. Only 25 cents a day. Will feed a child for a month. That old crazy type shit. You see the motherfucking flies in the child's fucking face and shit. Yeah, that type shit. Anywho, yeah, I think that's what Trump was talking about. I mean, even in the news, I hear acts of violence even in Hades right now. In the news, they have UN something about UN troops. I may be wrong, but I've read something I came across mentioning about UN troops, acts of violence, shootings, extrajudicial shootings in Hades. To me, when you got shit like that coming on, man, shit. I even have to agree, that's a shithole country. I say, regardless, you don't want to be sad. I mean, like, people want to know. Say, people who ain't never been to your country, like, wow, this white man said, I'm from a shithole country. Unless they actually been there, gone there, and actually seen videos of these countries. Every time I see, pictures of Africa, I say there's because my knowledge, there's more to than motherfuckers drinking from dirty streams and whatnot. Child drinking, from the same stream, and the animal takes a shit in. I know there's a lot more to these environments and whatnot. And if they live out in the sticks and boonies, but yet they don't see the tall buildings, the corporations that are located within that same country in this great continent of Africa. They don't see that. They just see, they show you pictures and videos of what can they can use to pluck at the heartstrings to get you to come out of your pockets to basically so already he started with this intellectual dishonesty. To meet their needs. These not what these non-profit organizations do, where they use these celebrities. They use these celebrities to to get you to come out of their get you to come out of your pockets. Get that money, get that green. Also I want to mention something about another article I heard about. They having what they call Women's Day March Parade, whatnot, and in association with this Me Too bullshit that I don't know if it was hijacked or appropriated, because I had learned that. It was a black woman that came up with the Me Too tagline and whatnot, and you really don't hear about this bitch no more. I said, where is she at? I'm thinking to myself, where is she at? I've heard other people talk about it as well. With just yourself and the camera. If we were able to let you. And my thing is, I have talked about how it's so easy for the white man or white woman to get the black woman to march to their drum. How easy it is. Like the suffrage movement back in the 20s, the early 1900s. They had nothing to do with the black woman. The women's national organization of women, whatever you want to call that, them dyke ass bitches. They was going by, that Abdul-Jabbaar, and her compadres had organized back in the day. All that shit was a bunch of, bullshit, man. Bitches burning their bras, sexual awakening, sexual revolution. That had nothing to do with the black woman. Because all that shit was about the stay-at-home white bitch. That shit had nothing to do with us. But yet, the black woman is constantly being used as a pawn to destroy the black family. Even today with this women's march, the black woman should have nothing to do with whatever the white woman wants to do. If the white woman wants to march in recognition of the any type of female movement, allow her to do it. Because it has nothing to do with us. Because we have to, sort of point in time, recognize that we're being, you're being hoodwinked. You're being used as a pawn, for someone else's movement. They got something going on that you should never play a part on. With Nixon and Kissinger tried to do to the black community back in the 70s, Obama was successful in doing. When it comes to homosexuality, pushing that shit, upon our people. You hear this big argument about, where motherfuckers need to go take a piss of shit at because, a nigga wants to, dress up like a bitch. He is now begging these other people to be attempted to pretend that is that type of shit, man, that's going to, continue the tools the white man has that will destroy the black family. We need to wake the fuck up and say, nah, it's okay for you to march, but when it comes to my black sons, my black grandsons, my black nephews, I'm not going to participate. Whatever you got going on has nothing to do with it. We gotta be straight up with these people, man. We need to be really straight the fuck up, man. Quit being, hoodwinked and bullshit to say it's for, white man say, oh, it's for everyone. We don't care what race you're. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's about, being used as a motherfucking pawn for shit that has nothing to do with us. If a white man wanted to have something to do with us, the white man could push forward about us getting reparations and shit, man, about the continuing terrorist acts, racial terrorist acts, placed upon the black man, especially with this black identity extremist bullshit, that was created during the Obama administration. I say, why are people, because this nigga is the same shade as me, don't mean shit. If I voted, I would vote for a person that can do the job well, that I believe that he will be able to at least move an anthill. Because moving a mountain could be very difficult. But if a man can move an anthill and move several anthills, sooner or later he's going to be able to move a mountain. But this man, while he was in office, had done nothing for black people. So I would never have voted for a man just because of his skin color, which mostly you'll find that black folks voted for this nigga, based upon their skin color. It makes me think, damn, I think we need to take an aptitude test, man, just to register to vote. Just because they put this motherfucker in office, I think we need to take an aptitude test. I don't even vote. You know, whether there was an aptitude test to vote or not, I would never vote it because I don't believe in the system. I believe the system works against the black family. It will never change. You know, no one will ever convince me anything else. You know, yeah, white motherfuckers. You know, white government agents and whatnot, man. You know, there's Jeff Sessions. I mean, look at this shit. This black identity extremist. You can't even, if you're black and you speak up against oppression, you're labeled a terrorist based upon this 2014 policy that these white motherfuckers come up with, man. And you don't hear nothing about it. You don't hear nothing about it in the media. You don't hear too much about it when it comes to this thing out of Washington D.C. where these motherfuckers, you know, come up with this shit, man. It's like if I put on a uniform to defend my country or to defend the borders of this country or to be law enforcement, it's a uniform. I'm giving the tools of protection, which are, you know, long rifle, short rifle, handgun, whatever. I'm a soldier, whether it's to defend the borders of this country or patrol the city. I'm a soldier. One of the consequences of putting on or donning a uniform is death. Because you got someone, put your life on the line, someone's paying you, asking you to put your life on the line to do certain duties. So just because, you know, you got a uniform on, you get your life took, it shouldn't be a shock to no one because you took the job. You agreed to put your life on the line to protect the borders, to patrol the neighborhoods of this country. So it should be nothing new or surprising about it. You know, when you're a soldier, you are a soldier. Whether you're a military or a police officer, you are a soldier. You know, because you know the police force is a militia. No matter how you look at it, it's a armed militia, which is, you know, illegal in this country.
Roland has very conveniently, as the dishonest pig that he is, he has lied and he has chosen not to say, well, I didn't like what Tariq said, so I insulted Tariq, and Tariq blew back on me, and I couldn't deal with it, so I got off my feelings and I was upset. Roland, you poked the bull, you got the horns. That's the way it works. You're not accustomed.
Another thing is,
Roland Martin is used to dealing with
another thing is,
they don't have very many options. They don't have the ability to self-determine for themselves. He's the only guy in the company
we need to talk about
a working class income, wage income.
So
everybody there is pretty much desperate for a job.
When you go back to talking about this Women's Day March, and how is it that, you know,
this was all brand new to him. It was brand new to him that the people that he,
how gullible, how easy it is to manipulate the black man, the black woman, into getting on the white man's bandwagon for their shit. But yet, when it comes to our shit, you know, about correcting racial terrorism upon us.
So what you witnessed is this completely unprepared psyche of the old.
I mean, it's a big thing. It's blasted on TV. It's blasted on the internet. It's blasted in the fucking papers. And I'm like, why? Why? I said, if a motherfucker doing me wrong, I don't want to have nothing in support of what they got going on. I don't care if the person's a decent person or not. You know, I say, tell your people, tell your people, you know, do right by us. I don't want to fuck with you.
But then again, we should not be surprised by this. After all,
I don't.
Sat there in front of
I mean, fuck who you are, you know.
Spencer, and proudly declared that you were not a black man, that you were.
We shouldn't be falling for that old sucker shit, man. You know.
Catcher,
what they got going on, leave their chaos to them, man. Let those folks destroy their own families. Let us take care of our families and whatnot, man. I mean, back in those days when my mom was coming up, with, you know, my grandmothers and whatnot, and our peoples and shit, man. I mean, there was some good that came out of segregation, man. There was very much, you know, a lot of good. Because black people relied on each other, you know, for everything. We ain't had to, you know, beg and slap, you know, to the white man for nothing and whatnot. You know, white man came up with the idea, you know, if this black bitch wants some food stamps, she got to get rid of the nigga, you know, she laying up with. You know, the daddy to them kids. That's the only way she can get or keep her food stamps. They doing a lot of shit now. They doing a lot of shit now to undermine the black family to where they want to cut benefits. You know, the black woman, you know, she want to eat. You know, her kids got to eat too. You know, because if her kids don't eat, you know, then you got the state, you know, knocking at the door. So your kids looking kind of hungry when they come to school. You know, we know we got the school programs where they can eat breakfast in the morning, but they still kind of hungry. You know, that's if you can get them to the schools, you know, early in the morning. You know, because some women are real fucking lazy to get up in the morning to get the kids up. You know. I deal with that shit, you know. Now I said, now, man, I'm like, bitch, get up. Your kids are dirty. Your kids are hungry. Your kids should not be knocking on motherfucker's door for food. But yet, you want to jump on the motherfucker's bandwagon for some march and shit, you know, some Wednesday march. That's, you really need to take a look at it and whatnot, man. How does, you know, shit like that, you know, benefit you, black woman? Does it improve your relationship with your man? Does it put your man, the father of your kids, back in the home? Does it unite you? Does it make your family whole? No, I bet you won't. There's a bunch of bitches, you know, complaining, you know, man hating and shit. You know, because man writes policy. You want to hate because the white bitch is hating. You know, the bitches, the Me Too type bitches. They want to march with you and shit, man. You know, come on, man. I mean, let's be real. You know, if a bitch gets finger banged up in Hollywood, that was how shit was. That's how shit is. If a bitch wanna get a motion picture deal, she gotta do what she gotta do. If she got knee pads, she need to go out and get her pair of knee pads, unless she was born with the knee pads built into her knees already. You know, she got to suck a dick to get a new contract. That bitch needs to suck a dick to get a contract.
But these other people, that's toxic. Okay.
All these bitches come out of the woodworks and shit, man. All these white boys, all these white motherfuckers and shit, man, are getting being accused and shit, man. Fuck them. Bill Cosby, none of them get the same treatment as Bill Cosby do. I look at his treason. I look at his fucking treason when black motherfuckers, black bitches, talk real bad about Bill Cosby because Bill was the only motherfucker that was opening his wallet so a black child can go to school, man, to go to get a college education and whatnot. Bill was the only one showing his black people any type of love when all these white motherfuckers were showing us none. I look at it as treason.
willingly sell out any person.
If a bitch, Bill's Bill, he's a man. You know, that's his woman. Camilla Cosby, she got to deal with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Because they're going to,
you know, what they do behind closed doors as a family, that's on them.
Talk to them, you realize, no, they're the only interest.
But I see the unfair treatment. All these other motherfuckers, these white motherfuckers, come out the woodworks. None of them are get the same treatment as Bill Cosby is getting.
That those who were trendsetting,
you gotta really take a real look at that, man. You know.
Broken down, and he has finally had to come to terms.
I don't give a fuck about these white bitches up in there, motherfucker. That get, you know, bitch get finger banged and shit, man. You know, like the brother up there, what's his name? Anis Azar, whatever that nigga's name is. You know, the bitch sucked his dick. You know, and you know, it was getting kind of hot and heavy, and he just wanted to get his dick wet. You know, up in the womb and whatnot, and you know, made the whole thing look cheap. I was like, the fuck, you know, you sucking his dick, and then you're gonna say no? I bet you that's what happened. You know, she sucked his dick and said, all I want to do is suck your dick. You know, the bitch could have been on her period, but she, you know, she obliged him by sucking his dick.
Now let's be clear. This was supposed to be Roland's.
You know, we really got to take a look at it, and, you know, on this shit. We look real deeper into this shit, because you know the shit is always one-sided, you know, in favor of the bitch, and it's easy for the white bitch to manipulate, you know, the black woman, you know, about this bullshit that they going through. Who gives a fuck what the white woman goes through, man? I don't. You know, I don't give a fuck about feminism, because it has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do as a black man. It has nothing to do with us as a black woman. It has nothing to do with us as the black family, as a unit. It has absolutely nothing. But yet we jump on these white cave bitches bandwagon and shit. Fuck them.
He wasn't even doing that. He was just sitting in a room talking into some camera.
Want to have a fucking parade? Let them bitches have a parade. But look at it for what it is. What's the purpose of you being used as a fucking pawn, black woman? It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your family, the black family. Leave that shit be. When these white motherfuckers come knocking your door and shit, man, we want to have a parade. We want to walk up and down the street, talk about the equality. We want the same amount of pay, you know, for doing less work. Which is kind of ridiculous and shit. You know, because you got to realize, man, as a woman, you got a lot to tend with. You got PTA meetings, you got doctor's appointments and shit with the kids, you know, but yeah, you want a pay raise next to where when Bill gets a raise, you want your pay raise. But Bill, he puts in real work. He worked 9 to 5 plus overtime, no matter what. But you, I got cramps. I got to call it a day. I'm going, hey, woo. I'm going home. I ain't feeling too well. You know, he let you go. Because he don't want to put up with no shit. He don't want to be accused, you know, of anything and whatnot. You know, shit like that. You know.
Disagreements that these individuals have.
So people have to treat you a little bit different. But yet you want to be equal. There's no such thing as, you know, man and woman being equal. We're equal in the creation alone. Period. We're not equal. That's shit that a man's willing to do without compromise, regardless of color.
And it's not because you wouldn't have done it. It's because you're too damn corny and goofy to be able to do it properly. And that's the other problem that you have. You are just stuck upstairs.
You know, this is the type of shit makes my hair go gray.
Unhealthily squared.
Now I gotta shave this shit.
Who is upset at other people being able to communicate in circles that you can't. They're able to talk on multiple levels. We are able to discuss these things on multiple different levels, and you simply can't. You just can't. I mean,
unapologetic, uncompromising. I'm not concerned about another man's feelings. Don't really care. I just hope what I say, makes you think, whatever level, whether it's good or bad, at least you're doing some thinking and whatnot. When you ride a bus and whatnot, and you just, having the daydream a little bit. And you just want to think about what I said, got you to, see things differently.
Yes, sir, I'm speaking to you as well. I'm talking to the Bob Johnsons. Oh, yes, sir, I am speaking to you as well. I'm talking to the Ebony magazines and the Jets and the Essences.
I'm going to leave you
by the way, the guy from Shea Moisture
in peace. I'll be producing some more videos
controversial here a few years back.
soon, inshallah.
Essence magazine, I want to say. They say that he's purchased that now. And I got to tell you, just a brief side.
Stay tuned.
Saying that, Essence.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
First of all, what good does it do to have a company